Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Katrina of the Living with Disability podcast, and today I will be discussing what is disability pride. But before I do that, allow me to formally introduce myself. And with that, I will go into a formal dressing who I am, and then my achievements, and then I will tell you what my disability is. And then we will go from there. All right, so I'm a person, and my achievements are I've graduated school, which have been elementary, middle, and high school. I have some college experience, and I do look forward to going back to college to major in psychology so that I can become two different types of counselors. And through that is to major, my main focus is to focus on disability. All right. My mental health I want to become a mental health counselor and a guidance counselor. Those two things are very, very important, and I feel as though it helps not only those who may need the mental health counseling and a guidance counselor, it will also, I will also benefit from those things as well. My achievements have been, if I did not already mention, I'm a self-published author. I have 4 poetry books out. And from there, I will tell you about my disability. Some people may look at what I say after I say that I have a learning disability. Other things that follow that may, for some people, be considered a condition. It all depends on whatever. And it's not taken from like contacts, like a different context, if that's even a word that I'm looking for. So what caused my disabilities are at the age of 9 months old, I was out for a stroll in my stroller, and I was hit by a drunk driver. Mind you, it was a 3-car collision. The drunk driver hit one car, and then that car hit another car. And that car came up on the pavement and knocked me out of my stroller. I suffered severe brain damage, which caused me to have gone into a coma for 6 months. And then following the 6 months, I was in for 3 months. And I also have hypothyroidism, which is a thyroid condition, but I'm going to just say that it is, there are different levels to hypothyroidism. It's a much longer term, the one that I have. Let me see what it's called pan hypothyroidism, pituitarism, pan hypopituitarism, and it the one I have, it had the pituitary gland is does not function on its own. I also have seizures. Um, I have a learning disability, and knowing that I have that, there are some disabilities within that uh, understanding, like comprehending certain things when it comes to like math, the concept of math. Also English. I did finish some parts of English in college, but I'm not completely finished with that. So I still struggle with that as well. And but that's not that's not who I am. I am not the things that had happened to me. And this is why I stand strong today to share with you, whether you're a person with your own disability, hidden or physical disability. I am here to bring awareness about disabilities in general. But today, I'm here to push, like my slogan says, let's push this, as in DIS, aside and focus on the ability here at Living with Disabilities. And I'm going to focus as much as possible to shine a brighter light for you all that are watching or for you all that are listening. Today, and I'm only going to speak on what disability pride means to me. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, and we can communicate however you want. And so, with that being said, my abilities here is regardless of what the doctors had we all been through that. Doctors saying one thing, you proving them wrong. Doctors told my parent, not parents, my parent, that I was going to either be a vegetable for the rest of my life. I would be in a facility for children with severe disabilities. I would either be 6 feet under, I would not be able to talk nor walk. I defeated everything that they had said. And my parent refused, refused to put me in a facility for children with severe disabilities. My parent knew what was best for me. my parent took me home and did the best that they can do. And they did a very good darn job, to tell you the truth. I'm here despite all the obstacles that I had to fight. And over those times, I even was in my own state of feeling down about being a person with a disability. 2015 was an eye opener. I was going through, trying to find a job. And mind you, back then, I was still in that mindset of being in a self abnegation phase. I didn't want to, I knew I had some issues. That I did. I knew I had it. I just didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. Let's just put it that way. I did not want to believe it. And so I kept pushing through. An obstacle came in my way. You know what? Gosh darn Skippy, I'm going to get through it. I was focusing on getting a job. And every job application I filled out, no, it didn't go through. It didn't go through. But I was determined. I stayed on being determined. Determined should might as well have been my middle name. And sometimes I feel as though it is. But then at some point, a light bulb, or more so, was given to me, an idea. This idea did not come from me directly, it came from a family member. And I thank my family member for, you know, seeing something that I did not see within myself. I saw and I knew and I said one day, I want to be on television. One day, I want to have my own talk show. I kept saying that because I loved watching television. I loved watching talk shows. So the one time when I was, down and about because I was handed a walking ticket, as I call it, a rejection ticket. And of course, every time I get the rejection ticket, I would receive a smile with it, wishing me good luck. recall one particular moment. I was sitting and watching one of my favorite cook shows, no longer on air anymore. It's The Chew. And I was really down. And even after the chew went off, I would turn the television off, and then the next minute, here I go. It's off. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to turn the TV back on again. I was feeling down. The television became my go-to. But then I had to eventually, snap out of just clinging onto the tube. So one of my family members was like, you know what? You should create your own show. Yes, I took that opportunity. I turned the tube off and I grabbed my notebook and I started jotting stuff down. And it was this platform, Living with Disabilities, that helped me open up. It's not just my relative that gave me the idea to start this. It's also, I have to also share this. One of my guests hit a chord they had no idea that they hit. When I asked them one specific question, and that question was, how would you motivate others to come out and talk about their disability? It was the response that they had shared that struck a chord. Yes, I was still sitting behind a desk, still in my self-abnegation phase about my disability. And then when they spoke and said, when you feel comfortable enough, start finding people to share it with. And then they mentioned some other stuff which I don't particularly remember off the top of my head. But then it was right after I thought about it. Like, you know what? You're right. You are absolutely right. I started thinking about all the abilities that I have. And here's where I will talk about disability pride. Or it should be more about not just disability, it should be rephrased, in my own opinion. It should be considered ability pride. It shouldn't be just about disabilities. Because what is a disability? If we want to talk outside of our community for those who are in who have physical and hidden disabilities, if we want to talk outside of our community, because everything has a community, what is a, what is disability? It's a label. That's my intake on that. But I also want to just go into the ability parts. What did I achieve? Yes, I have seizures, but that doesn't stop me from achieving anything. Yes, I have a thyroid condition, but that doesn't stop me from doing anything. Yes, I have trouble sometimes comprehending things. That doesn't stop me from learning. So, what should I be proud of? I should be proud of the things that I have accomplished and set out for myself to do in the near future. I am proud that I have stuck to wanting to be a self published author. I made it happen. I'm proud. I love my education, even though there may be obstacles and struggles through it. At least I made it past, and I'm proud of that. I don't focus, even if it does come into mind, I let it sit in there for a little bit, and then I'm like, you know what? It's time for you up here. Negativity, negative thoughts about whatever is happening that goes based on things going in my life that are, that contributes to learning, get into my head. I have to remember to stay grounded. It's okay for me to stay in a little mud puddle for a little bit, but then don't let that mud puddle turn into quicksand. No, I don't let that mud turn into quicksand, and quicksand cannot turn into mud, and mud cannot turn into quicksand. But you get what I'm saying. Therefore, I would love to hear what you guys got to say about what is disability pride. And if you are a member, not a member, but if you know of somebody who has a disability, or you are a person yourself who has a disability, let's talk about what is disability pride and what does it mean to you. All right. So, with that being said, remember, don't let your disability stop you from achieving things in your life. You show your disability what you can do and push this society here at Living with Disabilities. Bye.